If Wally was the protagonist in Hoenn, could he become champion? I decided to find out, but being criminally ill is not enough. Not only did I add some rules to make it even harder on him, but we're also playing through Pokemon Wally quest. This makes Emerald 10 times harder. It also adds Megas, Z moves, and a lot more. So be sure to like, subscribe, and all of that because even Wally did. And trust me, stay tuned because this challenge gets crazy. So our journey begins and Birch gives us a teaser of what's to come. In this adaptation of Hoenn, Pokemon up to Generation 8 are in the game, including mechanics like Z moves and Megas. I don't know why they showed out with a Gen 7 Pokemon, but yeah. We then name our character Wally in Adventure 4. And just like we're used to, Wally is helped to get his starter from Norman and Brendan. And after catching Orals and getting absolutely bodied by the Root Trainers, we go to fight May, who also bodies us 3 times before we ended up realizing that I had picked up an Eviolite somewhere, which made me win pretty easily after giving it to Orals. And this is exactly why you should pay attention in class, kids. Once we get our Pokédex from Birch, it was time to add another team member to the squad, Fletchling. This is a super solid addition to the team, although this isn't really helping the fact that the first gym is probably going to cook us like a steak. I then decided to go ahead and tell our family that a dying child is going on an adventure all by themselves, and surprisingly, they don't fight it at all. Like literally, nothing. They just gotta accept it. Awesome, I guess in this timeline they hate us. As we leave the town though, it seems Zinnia's here. She goes ahead and calls me special and then leaves. I don't know what's worse, the fact that this happened to me or that I don't know if I should feel proud or offended. Like I literally was just minding my own business. Let me know what you would do in real life if someone did this to you. I guess I'll just go through the Petalburg Woods to discuss my issues with the forest demons, but it seems the game had a different plan as we meet Cheryl, who similarly to Encino decides to team up with us to go through the forest. Once we clear through every peon in our path, we encounter a Devoncore member that gets ambushed by a Team Magma grunt. And after bodying that nerd, the Devoncore guy gives us an XP share. And yes, it's the type that shares to your whole team. Means something to me, man. It's crazy how something so simple can make a game for me. While trading for Roxanne and try to conjure up a plan to face my imminent doom, I find a team member I honestly forgot Wally had, a Skitty. Honestly, I kind of just caught this mon for completion purposes because I really don't think I'm gonna use it. And who knows, if I need a sack, hey, I got a cat. What? Ooh, that rhymed. I don't know if that's a good thing though. Oh wow, is that a Diancie? Huh, okay. Well, it's time to finally face off against Roxanne. Now, as I stated prior, this fight's not gonna be easy. We only have 3 Pokemon who are very weak early game, and especially in this matchup, so I really only had one option in order to win. Jeez. The strategy was simple: get to +6 evasion with double team and pray. Luckily, the mon that Roxanne led with, Geodude, mainly uses Stealth Rock and Defense Curls, and it only actually hit us twice with Smackdown. So after I was able to get to +6 evasion, I start spamming and praying as my strategy entails. And there goes Geodude. Aaron comes out, and this is scary as one single steel move connecting to us will probably exterminate us, but somehow we managed to take it down with just a couple of confusions. Her last mon is Nosepass, who manages to land a Smackdown, which kind of scared me a bit, but we are also able to take it down with enough confusions. First badge acquired, and yeah, somehow I first tried that, and this is just the beginning, as we're gonna have a lot of crazy difficult fights along our way to world domination. Fletchling also evolved after that battle, so yeah, team looking pretty solid. Anyways, another notable change in this game is you can quite literally skip past the Pico stuff and go straight to Verdanturf Town. Now, I don't actually know if I could have done this beforehand, which would have made the Roxanne battle easier, but it doesn't matter now, does it? And right next to that town, there's actually a breeder, and once you defeat her, she gives you an option of an egg. 2 of those mons actually being Wally's Pokemon, Badoo and Azurill. Now, I only had a choice of one, so I ended up choosing Badoo, and then I found out that it actually resets daily, so after using King Crimson Vanner Edition, skipping time, I was able to get to the next day. And then I picked up Azurill, so yeah, we're eating good. Shout outs to people that get that reference, by the way. After hatching our 2 babies, I quickly take care of the Pico stuff. So once I'm pretty much done with Petalburg as a whole, I decided to go ahead and fight Brennan to see how I'll scale up against him now. And honestly, I quite literally destroy him so hard, you don't even need to see the battle. So who's the main character now? Brawly. We're now at Dewford, and I decided to go ahead and confront Steven first, but it seems Zinnia is here, and she's talking about something devious? What are you planning? Oh, is it bad that I never finished the Delta episode, by the way? You what? Maybe I probably should have said that out loud, huh? Well, since I'm basically forced to, let's go ahead and fight Brawly. Entering this battle, I'm not nearly as terrified as I was for Roxanne, as obviously our 2 strongest Pokemon shred this gym type in. He leads off with a Mienfoo that goes for a fake out, but then we go for Peck and he low kicks us. He actually gets burned off doing doing that, so I take this opportunity to get my speed back up, the flame charge. His next mon is Makuhita, which actually fakes us out again. How creative, Brawly. And then he gets burned, so yeah, now I know you're mad. Also, for some reason, I was able to hit through the flinch. Okay, so I guess now he's double mad? My protagonist energy shattered through game logic. Brendan could never, honestly. I take him out in the next peck, and his last mon is Meditite. Wow, I wonder what move this mon will lead off with. What? Why are you trying to be different now? Why didn't you just keep it consistent? See, honestly, call me petty, but it's really the little things in life that get me upset. Weirdness aside, though, Meditite ends up taking us out, and we're able to wrap up the battle with Rox. It's now time to go ahead and confront Steven, because I really want to go ahead and introduce him to my business plan on taking over Unova. That way, we're able to share them some of our water, and IGN will stop hating on us. I mean, what? Steven ends up giving us a Dawnstone instead, and his presence was apparently the only thing keeping the cave standing, as it literally starts to collapse the second he leaves. So we go downstairs looking for a way out, and then we end up running into another companion from Sinnoh. It's Mirai, who's looking for Riley, actually. Also, we end up getting our last team member, Gibble, as well. So can we talk about how this man, Wally, has a whole OU team from Gen 7? Like, literally, this is not okay. After reuniting Mira with Riley, it's time to continue on with our journey. We encounter Team Aqua for the first time, and after beating the first one, Rox finally evolves. Also, the second grunts Adamantine, and this thing honestly was hella strong for no reason. This is when the game's gonna start getting a little difficult, huh? Even though we only have special moves on it, Orcurlia is actually adamant, and Wally is known for his signature Gallade. So I decided to use the Dawnstone that Steven gave us in order to evolve Curlia into Gallade. It's now time to fight May, and this is notoriously a difficult fight throughout the franchise, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty worried going into this. She leads off with the War Turtle, and honestly, for some reason, my brain turned off for this fight, so I just clicked Peck with Fletchinder until we died. I'm then able to beat it with Gibble. She then goes into Bayleaf, which I'm also able to chip down with Gibble before wrapping that up with Gallade. And her last mon is Combuskin, which Gallade can also finish off as well. Not nearly as difficult as I assumed it would be. Oh wow, this Team Magma member says I can join for only 10k? This definitely isn't a scam, right? Glory to the land expansion. So when do I become a member? I never became a member.
Why would you do that?
Wattson tells us to visit new Marvel, so I do, and while checking it out, I actually found our new team member, and honestly, our last one. It's Magnemite, so Skitty, goodbye, you will not be missed, and welcome Nuts and Bolts, you will be given the affection Skitty wish it had. While clearing out Watson's gym, Gibble evolves. And speaking of Wattson, I probably should have prepared more, as when I fought him, he wrapped me like a present on Christmas. So I want to go ahead to do more training, and hey, Badoo evolves. Oh my gosh, is that a Diancie? I sure do love Diancie. Oh. Well, I have a shiny stone, so I may as well evolve Roselia while I'm here. Anyways, time to give this Wattson fight one more shot. I lead with Gallade and get off a sword stance. Manectric then matches us with an electric terrain, so I go for Brick Break and actually end up taking down the Manectric. My main strategy is to get rid of the mons that can handle Gabite, and since this had Ice Fang, this is pretty good for us. Next up is Vikavolt, which I hit with a slash as it Volt switches into Emolga, and Emolga is able to take us down quite easily, honestly. It's time to get in Gabite, which actually can take down Emolga with Dragon Rage, and then Vikavolt comes back in, but it also dies to the Rage. Last mon is Rotom, and honest to God, this honestly gave me a newfound hatred for Rotom, as it spent pretty much 5 to 10 minutes Parafuse flinching my entire team until it went down to a Mega Drain from Roserade. Literally, what even was the point in that, bro? Like, what? After that battle though, Azurill evolved as well, so easy badge obtained. The team is looking real fresh right now, so let's make it even better by evolving Meryl again. And oh, look, it's Cindy again. Apparently my badges are really shiny. Oh, and then there she goes. Well, I'm glad my hours of scrubbing my badges has finally been noticed. And my mom said I was wasting my time. But it seems I have to put this boy Brennan back in his place yet again, as he leads with an Ivysaur, so I just Sword Dance with Gallade and take it down with Slash. Next up is Pikachu, that beats our Gallade, so then I take it down with Goodbye. Now Marshtomp comes out, so I send out Roserade to beat it again with Mega Drain, and then wrap the battle up with a Azumarill, which shreds his Quilava. It's now time to go to Meteor Falls, so after a long journey, we finally make it. Once we do, there's actually Team Aqua and Magma trying to snag Professor Cosmo's meteorite. He runs deeper into the cave trying to escape them, but ends up falling right into Maxie's hands. You fool! Nice one, little bro. But before we can intervene, Zinnia decides to intervene or intervention, which is honestly an actually disgusting maneuver, and she packs me like a Snickers bar with a Shelgon. Yeah, you don't need to say anything. Leave me alone, please. Zinnia then says that she's doing this for a greater purpose. Wow, I just don't like you. As we start going up the volcano to stop Maxie from using a meteorite, I end up running into two grunts, and they actually have sturdy Geodudes that spam hyper potions. There was literally no valid reason for me to point this out, except the biggest question of all. But why? I mean, I could have just focused the same Geodude twice and gotten the battle over with, but curiosity did kill the cat, and I'm kind of built like an Incineroar, so I had to see how many they'd use, and they literally just wouldn't stop. And then, funnily enough, right after them, there's two Aqua Grunts that do the exact same thing. Man, do I love Pokemon. After having a confuse off with Tabitha for 20 minutes, Magnemite evolves. Now it's time to fight Maxie to get that meteorite gun. He leads off with Torkoal, and I, the greedy man, you know how I move. I go for Swords Dance on its Toxic. I go for another SD and start shooting off Psycho Cut. Pew 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 pew, like a Nerf gun. I take down Torkoal and he sends out Marowak, which takes a Psycho Cut and then knocks Gallade out. I then hit it with a Bulldoze from Gabite to finish it off. As he sends out a Mudsdale, I'm able to take it down after spamming a ton of Mega Drains with Roserade. Next up, I just decide to let Azumarill finish the rest of the battle for us. And look, Fleshinder's evolving. Anyways, it's time to go ahead and fight Flannery. Hey yo, what?
Y'all could say I got W Riz.
You mean to tell me I take the mantle of main character for 5 minutes and y'all don't know how to act, huh? Man, that's crazy. Disgusting degeneracy aside. Instead of Flannery, she leads with Torkoal again. Wow, what a consistent theme. I lead with Gabite, take it overheat, and shoot off a couple of bulldozes. Then the demon on my shoulder whispered in my ear, telling me greed is the only answer to my problems. So I took out Gallade and tried to set up for a sweep, and it didn't work at all. Anyways, I'm so glad that battle didn't happen. Time to leave with Gavite and do the exact same thing, except now I'm a Christian. After taking down Torkoal, Flannery sends out Charizard. I take a hit and am able to take it out with 2 Rock Tombs. Next in is Simisear, so after Gabite dies, I chip it down with Gallade. Then sack off Magneton, or so I thought, but it decides to instead low sweep me, so I kill it off. Nice one. With a Volt Switch, her last mon is Arcanine, which kills Gallade, and after a couple of shenanigans with Talonflame and Azumarill, I'm able to take it down and secure or badge. Roxanne's waiting for us outside the gym and says there's something important to show us, but it's just a Regirock? I honest to God don't care about this scrub. I'm gonna go beat up my dad instead. Wait, I guess Norman isn't really my dad anymore, huh? Well, to be honest, this kind of makes this awkward. Norman leads off with a Giraffe Rig, and I let with Gallade. I dodge a Zen Headbutt, and I'm able to take it out in a few brick breaks. In comes Audino, which sweet kisses me on my Swords Dance. I'm able to hit through it and take it out. The next mon he sends out is Staraptor, so I send out Magneton to tank a return and force it to drop its defenses with close combat. That way I'm able to take it out with Gabite. Slacking the demon comes out, and this thing is honestly absolutely terrifying. I let it take out Gabite so it's true and can proc, which allows me to brick break it with Gallade. I then go into Talonflame, which is able to tank a return, and we start playing hot potato but with our bodies for 5 minutes until it gets burned and eventually kills Talonflame. I then am able to beat it down with Gallade, but his last mon is a Kangaskhan, and honestly thank God it's not a Mega, but don't underestimate it as this thing is honestly just as scary as the slacking. I switch into Azu and land a bounce that pairs it, and I'm able to get one more bounce off and then take it out with Gallade. Just kidding, it has a Chapel Berry and lives. Yeah, honestly, I got pretty lucky with that para. After snagging a badge from her adoptive father and getting Surf from her real father, I think, or he's her uncle? Sorry, did I forget to mention that I also gave Wally amnesia? It seems Steven needs us to help out Latias, so I guess let's do that. Oh wow, there's Zinnia, here to tell us we're worthless trash again and take the laddies. See, now I'm starting to get kind of annoyed. Well, at least Steven gives us a Mega Bracelet. Oh, hey, Magneton evolved. As I'm going through the Weather Institute and fight Shelly, it seems that she actually has a Mega Gyarados, so we're now in the Mega Evolution era. And honestly, I'm not very excited about that. Of course, we need to battle Brennan as well. What's the odds he has a Mega 2? Right, guys? This fight honestly took me a couple of tries, so that should be evident of its difficulty. It leads with a Rufflet, so I decide to Thunder Wave it on its superpower. I then Volt Switch on it, but it has a Focus Sash. I'm able to get in Gallade on the weakened superpower and take it out. Next up is a Swampert, and surprise, surprise, it's a Mega. And oh, the terrain gave it natural rain, so it's gonna get Swift Swim. I go hard into Azu, which takes half to an Aqua Tail. Half? I'm then able to tank a Bulldoze and go for Bounce. He switches into Raichu, and predicting a Thunder, I go into Gabite and barely kill with Bulldoze. In comes Swampert again, so I decide it's probably best to sack off Magnezone here. I then go into Roserade, which is able to barely take an Ice Punch so I can land a Stun Spore. He then gets greedy, and since I'm now faster from the para, I'm able to gain some HP back with Mega Train, but he had decided to Power Up Punch me to help him sweep instead of just killing me. Disgusting, bro, disgusting. Because of that, I'm able to take it out though, and next up is Typhlosion. So I sack off Gabite here, and for some reason, Azumarill, until I decided to go into Gallade and take it out with Psycho Cuts. Honestly, I kind of thought it was choice, but it went for Protect, so I guess it just sucks. He then started Excavalier Cavalier, which I match with Talonflame, and I heal on it with Roost until it eventually burns itself. Honestly, I had no valid reason to do this. I'm kind of just being a jerk for no reason. I take it out and learn acrobatics. His last mon is Venusaur, and thankfully, because of my newly learned acrobatics, it goes down very easily. Yeah, as you can see though, the game's difficulty is really starting to ramp up. So if you don't have your popcorn, you better get it popping because we got a lot to go through. Anyways, now we're in Fortree City, so it's time to fight Winona. Now, tell me why her Skarmory has Mud Slap. Hold on, I need to show y'all this first attempt because this is honestly kind of evil. Look at this. Like, this is why you should play a real game, guys, like Temtem. Okay, enough jokes aside, it's time to fight Winona for real. She leads with, of course, Skarmory, and I lead with its #1 counter, Magnezone. This time, I don't get trolled by Mud Slap, and I'm able to take it out with a Discharge into a Volt Switch. I then get in Gabite, and she sends out Altaria, and then I match it with Azu on Dragon Pulse. I then switch into Magnezone on its Toxic, move aside Pokemon challenges. There's a new sheriff in town. I'm able to Volt Switch out into Gallade and Swords Dance on Toxic, and another Swords Dance on top on its Roost. Then I'm able to take it out with a Psycho Cup, but I do have to take a Dragon Pulse first. Tropius comes out and protects, but I'm able to get one Psycho Cut off before I die. I go into Talonflame, which I Flame Charge with, and after a few acrobatics, Tropius also goes down. I do get paralyzed though, so haha, that's fun. Next up is Mantine, so I get in Roserade to paralyze it as that's basically all it's good for. I sack it, get in Magnezone, and take it out. Last mon is Howlucha, and thankfully it has superpower and not close combat, or honestly, I for sure would have lost. I'm able to get off in acrobatics with Talonflame and take it out with Gallade. 6 badge acquired. Anyways, apparently I could have gotten Mega Gallade quite a bit ago right next to Norman's gym, so I decided to go ahead and quickly snag that. But Wattson called us earlier telling us that we need to meet up with him deep in Route 120. And wow, a Registeel. That's like 2 Reggies now. Sure, it'd be cool if these had some plot importance. Oh, hey, look, it's Diancie again. And I think if I actually got a random pebble on the ground, I probably could catch it now, but honestly, I kind of don't care enough. Anyways, I made it to Lilycove City and I wanted some TM, so I decided to go into the department store. However, May is a grade A hater and would rather battle us than let us spend the thousands of dollars I've neglected due to the rules not allowing me to use heal items in battle. And honestly, just for that, I'm not even gonna show the battle. Yeah, screw you, May. But hey, goodbye Evolved. So now our entire team is complete. And you know, the department store also didn't have TM, so I just wasted my time. But let me know which one of Wally's Pokemon are actually your favorite in the comments, because mine is honestly probably Garchomp because it looks cool. This dude Wally actually has a Gen 7 OU team. I've said it twice, but that's hilariously good, bro. It's a shame that I'm lazy and won't get hard scales so they can actually get some good moves. But anyways, it's time to continue. In Mount Pyre, we meet up with Steven and someone says, hell, man, that's sure cool, but I'm just gonna mind my own business. It seems we're gonna have to fight Archie and Maxie with Steven, and if it's one thing I sure do love in Pokemon ROM hacks, it's teaming up with someone that feels like they want you to lose more than who you're actually fighting. So after like 30 minutes of Steven being a bumbling buffoon, we finally got a good run. I'm joking, it wasn't that bad. Kinda. I lead with Mag, and Steven leads with Metagross on their Mudsdale and Starmie. Metagross is able to take out Starmie with Thunder Punch, making me look like an idiot for using Volt Switch on it. And then it actually hits the Mudsdale instead, so I wasted my first start. Thanks, Steven. We then take a high horsepower by not taking it at all, and then Archie sends out a Mega Sharpedo that kills us. I go to Mega Gallade, and I Swords Dance on it because I really do need help. Someone stop me. Seriously, I'm actually sick. Steven then takes out Sharpedo, and I'm able to paralyze the incoming Kingdra with Roserade. Steven actually has a Clefable that literally spams Heal Pulse on me, so I'm able to take out Kingdra. Now, Archie is done, so we focus on Maxie as it's actually now a 2v1. After many trivialties, we're able to take out Mudsdale after enough growths. Next up is Camerupt, 2 Megas, and yeah, we lose, but I like this run, so I did the exact same thing again, but this time I had a Garchomp, so easy lick. We win the battle, and for some reason, Zinnia pulls up and I think stabs Steven? Literally, what is your problem? Has you never heard of just talking to people? Anyways, as Steven is literally bleeding out on the floor, we're forced to fight Zinnia with literally no heals, and I get cooked again. I took a couple mons down with me this time though, so I feel kind of good about that. Yo, it's actually been 5 weeks and May and Brendan are still here, bro. The world is ending. Please help us. They stopped being protagonists for 24 seconds and they don't even know how to act. That's crazy. We meet up with Sydney and Lava Ridge, who gives us a Magma Crest, so we infiltrate the Magma base. Of course, as you all know, it's time to fight Maxie, again, in a double battle, but this time, it's with me, myself, and I. We lead with Mag and Talonflame against his Carbink and Torkoal. I actually know he's going to go for Trick Room with Carbink, so I focus it with both of my Mons. Torkoal hits Mag pretty hard, but we're able to live with Sturdy. He then sends out Camera Up, so I just acrobatics it and try attack, print for a status, and I did not status. I then go into Garchomp, who, oh yeah, has a Groundium Z now, so one shots Camera Up, and now it's just Bulldoze Spam Simulator. Talonflame goes down for Maxie's Marowak, but I just go for another Bulldoze, which kills Torkoal, and Surf with Azu, which also can get Marowak. He then sends out his last Mons, Mudsdale and Tangro. Tang is able to take out Garchomp, but I go into Roserade to Mega Drain Mudsdale while I bounce to Tang. Bounce misses, but I decide it's best to just focus out Mudsdale, so I hit with the Mega Drain and Surf combo. Azu goes down, but I'm able to also get rid of Magnezone the next turn, so now it's a 2v1. I let Roserade perish, but I was able to set up with Glade and end up killing the Tangrowth. Honestly, that was a little scary. We try to stop Archie as he tries to hop in his sub, but he manages to get away. Anyways, after a small battle, we chase after him, and it's time for the real battle. Just kidding, Shelby says no. So I guess I'll just beat up two kids instead. It's time to fight Tate and Liza, and honestly, this is probably the hardest gym battle in the game free. They lead with both Meowsticks, and I lead with Garchomp and Gallade. They fake out Garchomp and go for Light Screen while I Swords Dance with Gallade. I am then able to Bulldoze with Garchomp and Swords Dance again with Gallade. The plan now is to focus the right Meowstick with both of my Mons. They do get a Reflect Up and kill Garchomp in the process, however. Slowbro comes out, so I send out Magnezone, which is able to Volt Switch on it, and I land a Slash on it with Gallade. I then pivot to Azu, which takes the Flamethrower from Slowbro, so now I'm basically just focusing out the Slowbro and leaving Meowstick alone as it's mainly supportive and it's actually super slow after the Bulldozes. Gardevoir comes out, which kills Gallade, but it also gets hit by a bounce in the process. I'm able to get back in Magnezone, bounce the Gardevoir again while Magnezone lands a Flash Cannon. Azu does die in the process, however, so I get in Talonflame and Light Screen wears off. It'll look pop a Quick Claw on Mag, which really didn't matter, but Gardevoir is able to die to a Flash Cannon now. Slowking comes out, so I focus it and get Magnezone to Volt Switch into Roserade. Slowking dies, but so does Talonflame in the process, so now it's a 2v2 with their Gallade coming out. So I discharge with Magnezone and get the para on Gallade, and I'm able to kill the Meowstick. The battle all depends now on Gallade getting paralyzed, and it does, so we're able to secure the win. As I said, this was not easy at all and took a solid amount of attempts and RNG, but we were able to pull through in the end. While leaving the gym, we actually spot Zinnia again, so we're like, hey, let me go call out my homies Tate and Liza, and they come to help us out. She sends out Latios and Latias to try to distract them in order to do whatever she has planned at the Space Center. We're able to meet up with Brawly, who's talking to a scientist about a meteor coming down, and I'm pretty sure Zinnia just kills Brawly here because we literally never see him again, so we quickly put her in her place, which was easy since she didn't have the Lotties on her. After beating her, she talks about how it's her destiny to save the world and her attempts to stop her are futile. Honestly, I don't care. We go to Route 105 and quickly watch Shelly and Tabitha, and wow, is that a Regice? That's like 3 Reggies now. It's time to finally go ahead and track down and defeat Archie, however, and I'm pretty sure the creator of this game is secretly a villain themselves because it's another double battle. It is with Politoed and Kabutops, so I think we all know what kind of battle this is. I start off with Gallade and Magnezone. I close combat the Kabutops, which kills, then I Volt Switch to Politoed. I then go into Roserade, which is able to take a hit, and Kindra comes out and kills Roserade with Ice Beam. I chunk it down with a CC, and then I go down to Politoed. Azu and Mag come out, so I Volt Switch, but Archie sends out Amoonguss because he has one for some reason. Luckily though, I did go for bounce with a Azumarill on this turn. I get in Talonflame, which actually can land in acrobatics on Amoonguss, but before getting knocked out by Politoed. Amoonguss also takes a bounce. Yay. I get in Garchomp, which hits a Tectonic Rage, and surprise, surprise, Amoonguss is somehow still alive. I go for bounce again, so I can click Earthquake with Garchomp, but guess the move he has on both of his Mons. Protect, yeah. Why? Literally, why? I don't get it. Nah, pause the whole video, bro. Why does Archie have an Amoonguss with Protect and Toxic? Archie's supposed to use water types? Last I checked, Amoonguss isn't a water type, buddy. This is a grass type. Like the stuff that's on land. Bro's going against his own nature just to piss me off. I can't believe this. I'm so sorry. I broke character. Anyways, early life crisis aside, Azu dies to poison, so I can get in a Magnezone, and together with Chomper, we're able to defeat both of his Mons. Next up is Kingdra and Starmie, but I honestly could easily take him out with a Discharge, and also it seems Talonflame wants to learn Brave Bird. Isn't that cool, guys? His last Mon is Mega Sharpedo, but it's also pretty easily taken out with a discharge from Magma. Yeah, this Mon honestly has been a crazy carry for us. And hey, look, it's Kyogre and Groudon beefing. Hold on though, let me call my boy Rayquaza to quickly settle this. Wait, did they just beat Rayquaza? Wait, hold on, that's illegal. Okay, hold on. If it's a Sky Demon Dragon that didn't work, I guess I'll use a rock, a nickel, and a SpongeBob Ice Pop to take him down instead. Crisis averted, guys. You can go home. Oh, never mind. It's just temporary. I guess we gotta get the Sky Demon Dragon back. All right. So the plan is simple. I'll just catch it while it's sleeping. All right. We just can't alert it. Okay. That didn't work well. I guess I'll try the meteorite thing out instead. Oh, hey, Zinnia. What's up? What the hell? Bro, did she just kill Brennan and May for no reason? Like they're for real dead. Is this a sacrifice that I needed to make to become the main protagonist? Yeah, I'll take it. Zinnia tries to use it but fails. We then take it from her and use the power of friendship, so we're able to awaken Rayquaza. Slight problem though, because we did this, our entire team's on half HP. Yeah, I'm dead serious. Anyways though, it's time to fight Zinnia once and for all, in order to show her that we're the true protagonists in this story. And never mind, we lost again. Honestly, I really hope no one's keeping track of my win rate against her, because it's pretty bad. Oh yeah, that's the last time we fight her, by the way. And yes, I am being serious. Even though Steven is still bleeding out from earlier, we begin fighting Kyogre and Groudon, and for some reason, Rayquaza decided to turn shiny, so I guess I'll take it. After whopping those two and saving the world, it's time to do something way more important. Become the champion to inflame my ego. So it's time to fight the last gym leader, Juan. He leads with the Wishy-Washy, so I started off with the Roserade, who I use to stun Spore and then growth on its Protect. I growth a couple more times on some Paras and Protects, and then I go for Mega Drain, which somehow does not kill. Don't ask me why I still don't have Giga Drain, because I refuse to get Heart Scales. Next up is Swanna, who puts me in the dirt, so I get in Magna Zone, which tanks the Scald and takes it out with Discharge. Next up is Samurott, so I get a Quick Claw and hit it with a Discharge. After some heals and trolls, I am also able to take it down. Greninja comes out, which shoots a Dark Pulse, but it just isn't enough to kill, so we hit it into Sash range. I switch it to Azu, which tanks a few hits and then eventually knocks it out. He then sends out Blastoise, which I chip down with a few double edges before dying. I'm able to get in Gallade, who I set up a Swords Dance with, and then after barely surviving, I can kill with Psycho Cut. He sends out a Primarina, who also can take one Psycho Cut and then kills us, but Magnezone is able to clean up, and there's that. Honestly, might have been the easiest battle yet. After barely making it out of the victory road, May and Brendan are back from hell in order to torment us for some reason. They literally don't heal us and expect us to win a 1v2 after fighting like 25 plus trainers against the original protagonist too, but like there's a lot of work for us guys, right? Am I right? Their leads are Meganium and Typhlosion, and mine are Talonflame and Chomper. I Brave Bird Meganium and Earthquake with Chomp. I then take a Grass Pledge, and next turn I'm able to knock out Meganium. Predicted a Fire Pledge from Typhlosion, however, I swap into a Azumarill. Blaziken comes out, which I knock into Sash range with Brave Bird, but then I end up knocking out the entire field with Surf. Next row is Blastoise and Swampert, so I get in Gallade and go for Blastoise, who is a Mega. Azu goes down and we're able to take a Water Pledge, so I get in Roserade and continue focusing out Blastoise until we're able to take it down. However, we end up losing Gallade in the process, but it's fine, as now it's a 2v1, so easily I'm able to take down Swampert with Garchomp and Roserade. Next up is Mega Venusaur, who is eventually taken down after like 10 minutes, and not gonna lie, this is how I know they didn't go to heaven. This Mon was pure evil incarnate. Good to know I'll never see you scrubs again. Go back to where you belong. After a tiny bit of casual training with Pseudo Legends, I think it's time to wrap up this game and claim our crown as champion. Our first opponent is Sydney, who leads off with an Alolan Persian, which fakes out Chomp, then Pardon Shots out. Because of that, I'm actually able to hit his Absol with a solid Dragon Claw on its switching. And Megas and Play Rough, but I actually live, and then I'm able to land a Rock Tomb and then take it out with Earthquake now that I'm faster. Crocodile comes in, so I go hard into Azu, which takes a hit and puts it into red with the superpower. I thought it was Mega Brain, but the AI in this game is even more Mega Brain, so as I tried to predict the Crook going for Earthquake, I swap into Talonflame, but it went for Rock Slide. Then knocks us out, so I finish it off with Roserade, but this thing honestly did a good amount of damage to us. Alolan Muck comes in, so I use this opportunity to get to +2 with Gallade and kill it, but we did get poisoned by Poison Touch in the process. Next up is Manabuzz, that taunts us and then dies to 2 close combats. Then I end up dying to the poison. Scrafty is next, so I pivot out with Volt Switch on Mag into Garchomp, but Scrafty actually bolts up. I then Z Tectonic Rage, but it literally does nothing. So I get an Azu and Superpower, but surprise, it has a Chople Berry. But we're able to Quick Claw and kill it with with Mag being her last mon. Also, Mag is able to easily take out Persian, so the first battle completed, and it was honestly cut pretty close, but it's alright. Next E4 member is Phoebe, and after losing a couple times, I realized I didn't have enough heals for in between battles, so I had to leave to buy more so I don't get shredded by the last fight. Once again though, I'm able to beat Sydney again, so it's time to give this a valid shot. She leaves with Palo Sand and I match it with Roserade. I go for a couple growths and then I take it down with Mega Drains. Next up is Gorgeist, which I get Talonflame into, but it has to tank Stealth Rocks in the process. So now it's just a game of Phantom Force, Roost, and Fly until she eventually switches into Jellicent. I get in Magnezone and I'm able to take it out barely. Gorgeist comes back out and I sacrifice Magnezone to get Talonflame in, which ends up getting it burned. I contemplate trying to set up with Gallade, then realize that's an awful idea. Why would you guys even allow me to think like that? Mimikyu comes out and this is easily her scariest mon, but we are able to get it burned with Flame Body. We break its disguise as well and get off big damage before we die. Literally, I could not have asked for a better run from Talonflame. I try to let Mimikyu kill itself from Burn plus Life Orb, which ends up working in its own scuff type of way, and then she sends out her Mega, which is a Banette, and she tries to kill Roserade with Sucker Punch, but you know, I totally predicted that, and then I got off a Stun Spore. Well, what do you mean I didn't predict it and I only went for this because I had no idea what else I could do? Anyways, I get out some chip and then Rose dies. Chomp comes out and beats Banette with a Tectonic Rage, and her last mon, Aegislash, comes out, so that was also easily cleaned up. Alright, we're 2 for 2 now. Next up is Glacia, who leads with a Frost Lass. It has Sash and Destiny Bond, however, so I have to get through this without letting Magnezone die. I get off a discharge, then I Volt Switch out. There you go, woohoo! I set out Azu, which baits Ninetales, so I get in Magnezone in, which kills it with a Flash Cannon into a Volt Switch after it gets up its Veil. From this, I get in Gallade, which nearly kills her incoming Mamoswine with a Brick Break, but it's alright because at least we were able to shatter the Veil. I almost actually died from the Earthquake it sent out, and since it's faster than me, I decided to sacrifice Roserade here. I am then able to get revenge with Azu. Next is the Abomasnow, so I go for a nice balance, but get killed by Giga Drain. I get in Talonflame, which gets off a Flame Charge because I tried being sneaky and then I got frozen by Blizzard. Yay, karma. I kill Abomasnow with Mega Gallade and one-shot her incoming Alolan Sand Slash. I get a pretty good damage on her final mon, Walrein, as well, but it's quite easy to finish the matchup with Garchomp from here. But yeah, close combat only had 5 PP, so I ended up swapping it out after using them all for Brick Break. Last E4 member is Drake. I lead off with Gallade on Komodo, who gets up rocks. I go for Swords Dance as I do and one-shot it, but I also get poisoned by its Poison Jab. He then for some reason goes into Dragalge, so I pick up my easy lick. Altaria comes in and it's Mega, so on his Dragon Dance, I actually crit and kill it with Psycho Cut. Yo, this dude is getting mopped right now. He gets in Flygon, which is faster than us, and takes us out with an EQ. Why he didn't do that earlier, I don't know. Maybe it didn't kill without poison, but I'll take it for sure. I get in Chomp, which somehow takes a Dragon Claw from it and then actually kills it. Next in is Gudra, who takes half from her Dragon Claw before knocking us out with a Draco. I'm then able to take it out with some Brave Birds from Talonflame. And last up is Turtonator, but it's fine since Talonflame's able to get some good chip off with a Brave Bird before going down. I send out Azu, who also gets some good chip before going down as well. I Stun Spore and for some reason still have Water Sport on Roserade, so with enough RNG, I'm actually able to take it out with Magnezone and win. That battle was overall pretty easy, but the end was definitely terrifying. But anyways, now it's time for the battle we've all been waiting for, Champion Wallace. Now, we have a pretty solid water matchup as shown with Juan, so I lead off with Gallade, who, surprise, surprise, I Swords Dance with on his Azu. You know how many balls you need to Swords Dance on a Azumarill? Some things never change, am I right, guys? Also, it's a Perish Trap Azu with Protect and Full Restores. Yay! If you don't know, Perish Trap Azu relies on the set Whirlpool, Perish Song, Protect, and Rest. You also run Sap Sipper and high defenses in order to stall out your opponent. It's very cheese, but with the right mods, it is definitely possible to beat. But the fact that Champion has this is honestly kind of depressing. I'd literally prefer you to have a Primal Kyogre or something. This is just kind of lame. Gallade inevitably dies, but Wallace has gotten in Quagsire, who I decided to set up on a bit with Roserade. I did assume it of course had other wear, so the boots wouldn't have mattered much on it, but I wanted the boots for the mons after I defeat it. It curses up a bit, so I take it out with 2 Mega Drains. Azu comes back, and I remembered this mod most likely has Sap Sipper, so I decided to go into Magnezone to pivot with Volt Switch, but somehow it lives. It's fine though, because I'm able to get my Azu in, which takes it out. Next up is Empoleon, so I go right back into Magnezone and manage to take it up while it gets its rocks up. On the last hit though, you know, I'm a little cheeky, so I hit it with the Volt Switch back into Garchomp, and he sends Toxapex on us. You know, I had to kill the demonic creature with Tectonic Rage because I do not play games with Pex. My Lotte gets sent out and becomes becomes a hassle off rip. I sacrifice Magnezone to get my Roserade in though, which stun spores it, and I decides to rest for some reason. So I'm like, okay, I take this opportunity to get a bunch of growths off, and Roserade is able to take it out easily, as well as his last mon, which is Mega Slowbro. Yeah, I don't know how the champion ended up being the easiest battle in like the past 20, but yeah. I guess even with the rules and difficult ROM hack, Wally is able to become champion of Hoenn. Drop a comment on what your favorite part of the video was, and be sure to like and subscribe for more Pokemon challenges and more. And if you want to watch another one right now, you can click this video right here. Wowzers, what a great video.